Okay, just the people left. There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back at everything that's happened. Would you like my help? I would, but not... yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. And soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. I don't buy that one bit. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo Justice. It also became clear that this Robo Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Togo and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. So many rooms and floors. But not long after leaving the nurse's office, I don't buy this one bit. The fact that she saw a shadow. She wanted us to go to the 3rd floor. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. Then, right after that, Celeste screamed. This time, she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Very, very clearly, Celeste is trying to lead us away from the 1st floor. That's what this whole thing is. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. I saw him, the strange costumed man that nobody else has seen besides Celeste in that picture. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. That's not even possible because there's no other way to go in there. Celeste was leading us to Taka's body on purpose. We don't know when Taka was killed, but she was definitely leading us there. Hifumi not dying might have been a mistake, and then she went back to finish the job or something. And then... somebody screamed. Oh, it was Hifumi. At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect up on the 3rd floor. See, we ended up finding the body, but there was no suspect. So Celeste must have been lying. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse. Which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened. But at the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. Which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. That body announcement, whose body was it for? Because it was weird how Hifumi wasn't actually dead. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, when we ran into Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body had disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone. Then we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. There's a lot of shit going on. Celeste definitely is an accomplice, though. She might not have killed Hifumi, but she could have killed Taka. Way before. We don't know what happened before 7 a.m., so... And it's very, very plausible that Taka had gone out before 7 a.m., just like Hifumi, to look for alter ego. This time, Taka's body had disappeared. So from there, we began our search for both of the missing bodies. And after some time, Celeste told us she found the bodies. Celeste again! And we all headed to the repository. And there we discovered the two bodies that had apparently vanished. I still don't understand what the purpose of moving the body is. To redirect our attention somehow. Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, let me know. I'm fine anytime. I will probably write down... This time, I think I have to write down a timeline for what everybody was doing during what hour. My god. Hey, Makoto? I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? It was locked before we came. After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together. And we came right to the repository to, you know, look around. But when we got here... I noticed that too. The repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked? And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it? And why is it unlocked now? As far as we can tell, Celeste is the one who discovered the bodies. So, key figure in this case. I wonder the same thing. There might be some secret lurking in there, but I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. Am I done here? I think I am. There's only one way in and out of this room. Through the door that Hina said was locked before. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from in the art room. Okay, that's a big hint. It means that the person who transported the bodies here, they stayed in this room and locked the room. And then when Celeste came here, they opened the room for Celeste. And then they escaped. And then Celeste told us that the bodies were here. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone into the repository and locked the door. That's true too. It could have just been Celeste who was inside here, but not too sure yet. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. If it's the kind of lock I'm thinking of, can't they actually keep it locked? Like, you could open the door, lock it, and then close it, right? And then they would stay locked. So, for some strange reason, they moved the bodies, but they are not letting us not find it. So, that certain someone... there's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are places I already know about. First, the nurse's office, where Hifumi was found. Then the equipment room, where Taka was found. Is it worth it trying to go to rooms that are not those rooms first? If I look through the school... Here, I don't see much. Where is everybody? I'm still worried about, oh. Equipment room. Toko is still there. Where is Kyoko? She can't be the one. She can't. She would never hurt me like that, right? I'm not... Okay, let's go to the equipment room then. Nothing in here. The purifier is pretty loud though. The purifier that might not just be a purifier. I was thinking they need a purifier because there's no windows here, but is it because the air outside is really bad too? I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away! I'm super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event! So you really were asleep. Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. That's really suspect. The purpose of moving the body was not to hide evidence. Not that I can think of anyway. There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. Yup, certainly. Whoever did the moving was using that dolly. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There was blood on its tire. Could that blood have come from here? Which would mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Equipment room bloodstain. Okay. But even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with a dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor. That's still a total mystery. Is there an elevator here that we don't know about? Tarp? Yeah, it's the one that was under Taka. So, Taka's body was here. The dolly was here. The person came in. Wait. Do you think they put Taka on the tarp and then on the dolly? I guess so? I'm just trying to think about the logistics of this. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they would put Taka on the tarp and then put the whole thing on the dolly and then move the dolly over to the art room, right? Sure, yeah, okay. Looks like that's it for here. I feel like we should look around a little bit more than just, you know, the nurse's office and all that stuff, if we're allowed to. So I'm gonna try to see if we can visit some of the other rooms. Yeah, definitely, this was a dead end, so Celeste was lying. The suspect was not here. Art room. Rec room. That locker, I'm so obsessed with the locker. Really. Hey, wasn't this chair... Am I seeing things, or was this chair not in that position before? A couch. There's nothing okay, sure. I thought, like, you know, maybe you would have one chair here and one chair here, right? How come it's all the way over there? It's a locker. Celeste. Was she really attacked with Justice Hammer 1? Why would they bother, like... The robot costume, where did it come from? Why did they bother making a hammer that's like a set with the costume? Oh, there's just so many mysteries. Why is there a significance in them using multiple hammers? Or is it just more because there were a lot of hammers, so they grabbed a whole bunch? Because if there were really two people working together, passing the hammer back and forth wouldn't make much sense. So in that case, it would make much more sense that they grabbed a whole bunch of them, I guess. Okay. I don't think there was much on the second floor, but we should check it anyway. Actually, the library, right? God. Wait. Okay, that's the first floor. Don't think we need to check the washrooms. You never know. Equipment. Nope. Okay. Classroom. I wonder what would have happened. It really was a shame. Back when we were first left the dining hall to go to the first floor, and I was like, oh yeah, we can go to the nurse's office now, but we didn't get to go. I suspect we would have been stopped anyway because Aoi screaming probably would have happened, but it's just... If we had gone there earlier, before Aoi screamed, would we have been able to find anything? That's what I'm curious about. Reality isn't everything. I sure hope so. Wait. Oh, that scared me. I thought that was blood. Jesus. Can we get out of this nightmare? I hope it's fake. Okay. Why was Hifumi in the library anyway? I doubt that something useful is in here. Yeah, I don't quite think so. But the library though, I feel like no blood? No blood here at all. Does that mean that Hifumi wasn't attacked here? He didn't really get to say much before we had to go. We might just be wasting our time here. Huh. $10 million is a positively unrealistic amount of money. Is this why they had to die? I mean, 5 million each? Not a bad number at all. Okay, I'm saving you some time right now. I went and checked the other rooms. There was nothing in there, so let's go to the nurse's infirmary. I don't know why they don't just call it infirmary. Hello, Celeste. Justice Hammer 3. The one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body but left the weapon behind. I hope we don't have to like care about the pattern of the blood splatter or anything, because I know that's like a whole field of forensic science. That hopefully we don't have to deal with, of course. Fridge. Is that a mini fridge? After everything I've been through, I'm totally parched. Maybe just a quick peek. There's a bunch of blood packets in here for blood transfusions, I guess. It doesn't help me though. I'm not a vampire. Blood packets? Could blood be fake? Like, that didn't show up as a truth bullet though, so I'm leaning towards maybe that was just an Easter egg. Oh, I checked that. Okay. What is that? Garbage can? It's just a normal trash can. Huh? Wait, there's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth. Oh, the cloth used to clean Hifumi's glasses, for sure, because of that pretty pudgy princess thing. And it's got some kind of a cartoon character on it. But it's also covered in blood. Did you find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash can. A cleaning cloth? And it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either. But I think it might be important. Definitely. Surely the cloth belongs to Hifumi, but does that mean that Hifumi himself wiped it off? Just a camera. Alright, what you got for me? What are you investigating, Celeste? I am not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I am simply going around, seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. Could Celeste? Celeste certainly has a lot of free time to manipulate all sorts of evidence because the only room being guarded is the room that the crime scenes didn't happen in. Which actually doesn't make sense if you think about it. You should probably have some people guarding the crime scenes too, but we don't exactly have a lot of people on our hands. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body. How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right? Correct. Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you got back, the body was gone? We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then, the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so. Could it be that Hifumi wasn't dead the first time? If he wasn't dead, like he pretended to be dead and then everyone left the room. And then he got up, wiped his glasses so he could actually see his way, and then walked up to the 3rd floor by himself. I'm not sure what the motive is, but I can't imagine how Hifumi was carried around either, so my only explanation is that he walked up there by himself. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Well, I think that's it here. The blood transfusion doesn't seem to be related. This is a pretty fancy looking nurse place though. Usually they only have one bed or something, right? But there's 3 and there's x-rays and everything here. My god. So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Oh my god. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hiro's room. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. This is the note that Hiro wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression. Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? Whoever committed this murder is, seems to be it's very well planned out. Cause it's not just that they murdered the people, but they also somehow managed to get both Kyoko and Hiro away at the same time. To make it seem like they were the ones who did something, so... To distract Kyoko, that's some next level shit right there. I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation. Goodbye. Well, thanks I guess. So he said to go to Hiro's room, right? But what's waiting there for me? Which way is it again? This way? No, it's this way. I lied. Actually, why not just use the map? Gym, nothing was there. Dorm. Just checking the bath. Could Alter Ego have mysteriously come back on its own? Probably not. Where did Alter Ego go? Yeah, okay. So Hiro's room. Hiro. How can we get in? We don't have a key. Or is it unlocked for the purposes of investigation? The door is unlocked? Monokuma's gonna come up. I guess I can go inside. Byakuya did say to go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. Wow. This is Hiro's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Where did he even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up. Is that glitching on the side? It keeps like flickering once in a while, which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? Okay. A surveillance camera. Okay, well it's bothering me because it's distracting. It's a normal bed, pretty much just like the one in my room. Everyone's rooms are so decorated besides Makoto's. I want to see Kyoko's room. I think there's something in the cardboard box. Oh! It's blueprints for something, and something's made out of... It looks like cardboard, plastic, and plaster? Is this Robo Justice? Someone planted it in here, and it's in Hiro's room. But wait, these blueprints... Something about them bothers me. Yeah, the penmanship looks like crap. Yeah, and it's way... if I'm a murderer, I'm not gonna put the shit in my own room. So, this was definitely planted in here. I'm guessing neither Hiro or Kyoko were involved. So that's gonna be interesting to see who was teaming up with Celeste, because I'm pretty convinced it's Celeste. No? Well, I guess we can't look at any of the stuff. Bathroom? I soundlessly checked the bathroom. There's nothing in here. A dirty bathroom. Yeah, seems like that's it. Okay. Combined with that message from Byakuya, that's... What? Makoto! Big news! Big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko! What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news. Robo Justice showed up too! Robo Justice? It's Hiro wearing the costume. Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. To think Hiro and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could. Why didn't we just go together? Oh! Huh. Well, it's definitely not Hiro, because why would he come here wearing that thing if he knows that someone, you know, the person suspected of wearing that thing is being suspected of murder? Just doesn't make sense, you know? Kyoko! And... Whew, man, I had the worst day. Hiro? This is very strange indeed. Let me check that locker. Another locker! There's a big locker near the pool. Is that it? I am positive that is the suspicious individual that attacked me. Sure, whatever, Manzelas. Apparently, that ridiculous object is Hiro. I'd ask Kyoko for the details if I were you. I will. Robo Justice finally made his appearance, huh? I guess Kyoko's the one that found him. Hey, if you're here, then is Sakura alone? Like, I don't... Why are you... How did you even come here by yourself? Like, are you not guarding? Oh, I don't... I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool room locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up. I still can't believe you kicked me! You could have been a little bit more gentle about it, like, I don't know, caress my face or something. That's creepy. Gotta be pretty bad to creep Kyoko out. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace. There was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind! Never mind. Oh, shit. Why? I'm scared. More importantly, She says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind? First of all, Hiro, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that. Oh, well, I mean, I have no idea. 1 second I was asleep, don't even know how that happened, and then I woke up and then I was here. I don't care. Do something about that costume. It pains me just to look at you. Well, I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. A clasp. It means when someone put on this costume, someone closed the clasp on the back, right? So definitely some sort of accomplice work going on here. Not necessarily Hiro. In fact, I would think it's not Hiro. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hiro out of the suit. It took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Woo! Free at last! Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hiro? Definitely being framed. More to the point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume. Wait, what? Hold on a sec. Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well. How do you know that? In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made this costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too. Then it's obvious. The one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone was Hiro! Shall we tie him up and gag him? Good idea! We wouldn't want him killing anyone else. Tie me up? Hold on, guys. I think that's going a little too far. He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Oh, so Kyoko does know that there's been murders. Okay. Yeah, I mean... Attacking? Blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided. You killed them! What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake Hiro running around. You're the only one who can wear this costume. How did they decide this? I feel like Taka can. So who else could possibly be the costumed attacker? How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me. Fine. If you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a beat, Hina started putting on the Robo Justice costume. See? Look! See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. That's more proof that the person probably wasn't walking around wearing this thing. Probably wore the costume just for that photo. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight. That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment. Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could fit into this dumb costume. In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again. Well, now you're all out of excuses. No, see, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Okay, why don't you? Against my will, I picked up the pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good. The arms are too long. There's no way I can wear this. See? I told you it was impossible. Sample size of 1. You are absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly. Then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same, but fits them. If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence. Evidence? You claim there's another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. Why are we so fixated on the suit? What the heck? Who cares? Hiro's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway. Which is how we know it was him. No. I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could someone, like, tell me? This is all very strange and... Kyoko... I don't suspect her, but it's weird how she doesn't want to talk about where she was. I certainly did not expect Hiro and Kyoko to turn up at the same time. But where has Kyoko been hiding all this time? I have no idea. Perhaps she really is working for the mastermind. What else would explain her questionable behavior? But... you're quite protective of her, yes? That's because she's helped me out so much up until now. If I were the mastermind, that is exactly what I would do to earn your trust. Oh, shut up, Celeste. You're dead to me already. You're dead. I don't need a trial. It's looking more and more like it was really a setup. I agree. There's no talking your way out of this one. You did it! Everyone knows it! Calm down, Hina. Calm down. If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey, Makoto, who was it? Well... 2 people were killed. Taka and Hifumi. What? 2 people? Why are you freaking out? You did it! I did not! Wait, hold on. If those 2 are the ones that were killed... That's it! I know who did it! You may as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over alter ego, right? Which means alter ego and or Chihiro must have done it! I see. That's unfortunate. You can already tell that something died inside Kyoko after hearing Hiro's stupid talk. Uh-huh? Unfortunate? Stop trying to trick us! Just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong! Oh, I know! That note! Note? Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room, then for some reason I fell asleep. The real killer probably drugged me or something. Not a chance. No, hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that. What? Really? I told you, someone's been trying to set me up. A secret passage? A chance to escape? Someone wrote all that to trick me. Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. You are the same. Well, after being trapped here for so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? They preyed on my desire to get out of here! They deceived me! I still don't buy it. Well, you should buy it! Okay, then show us that note. It's probably gone. With pleasure. I have it right here in my, pockets. Looks like I lost it. Yeah, sure. Please! You gotta believe me! I wanted her to fly! As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck? For serious! Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it. Oh my god, just don't be so narrow-minded, okay? Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, Hiro. No, it's like I said. Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broke, and that's why... Wait, that's a false accusation! Someone help me! Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you! If you have the time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence. If you have the time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right? Ah! You're right! I need to go look for the second suit and that note! Feet don't fail me now! I guess I'd better get back to guard duty. I was gonna ask Toko, or Genocide Jack, to switch with me. But if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away. Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? I want you to help me with the investigation. It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared? Fair enough. Oh my god. Hey, I like you, but... Okay, up until now, our experience with Kyoko, she's been really big help. A pivotal figure in us staying alive so far, so... I want to trust her on this. There must be some reason that she's not willing to tell us, but it stings, you know? It stings. To reject me so simply. Anyway, I need your help. You don't mind, do you? If I was a petty person, I would be like... I would kinda mind. Okay. Thanks. Now then, shall we? So, Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses? I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me. Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living. Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer? Anyway, we have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I don't know how much help she's gonna be if she doesn't know much right now. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. Then I guess we should head that way for now. Repository is 3rd floor, okay. Alright. Art room, art room. It's gonna be hard for us to tell Kyoko everything because it's easy to forget things. Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid. But only for a moment. Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation, began poking and prodding the bodies. The Monokuma file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth, and she was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little bit more comfortable. That's good, that's good. Do I need to look at this again? Taka was killed by a blow to the head. He must have been struck with Justice Hammer 4, which was laying on the floor. Oh, right now I really don't have a clue why the 1, 2, 3, 4 is significant at all. And there's a tarp. The killer must have used it to move Taka's body. Kyoko, any thoughts? Makoto, I found something. You did? You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? No. He did? Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? Okay, sure. No, that's not it. Hey, well, you don't have a gigantic dialogue box blocking people's lower half of the body, okay? Anyway, so you said he had a watch? Take a look. It's broken. Oh, but now we know when he was struck. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen at just past 6 o'clock. Wow, that's really early. Now I'm really convinced that by the time Celeste was like, hey, there's someone on the 3rd floor, I trapped them, hey, let's go find them, Taka was long dead. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6? But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey you! How long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. Oh wow. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls! So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. Meaning, it must have happened at 6 this morning. And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there. Is it the note from the Hiro's note? Can you try and pry it out? Oh, I thought you were accustomed to this. Me? Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Man, you sure know how to use people. Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper? Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it? I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body. Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he's left us a few clues on his own. I can't believe as soon as Kyoko came, we saw these gigantic things that we never saw before. Ugh. We can find a piece of paper that matches with that tear corner, I guess. The biggest problem I have right now is how the killer... Okay, no. Yes. Yep. So, did you find anything? I did. More than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper? Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden? He stuffed it in his pants. So I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see? In his pants? Wait, so you... It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. Oh, okay. I don't know what that means. Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto. Open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like... It better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. Oh, there's the note! Huh, interesting. Why did Taka and Hifumi both have pieces of this paper that was given to Hiro? I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m. Ooh, Taka died at 6. Wait, Taka was told to go to the rec room, right? At least I'm pretty sure. Or not Taka, Hiro. So this might be a different note. That sounds very familiar. That's it! It's the same thing Hiro said! Then he was telling us the truth! Although, it's not exactly the same, is it? Yep, because that one said rec room. At 1 a.m. Rec room at 1 a.m. Equipment room at 6. The time is different. Hiro told us that his note said to meet at 1 a.m. But the note they wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 a.m. Is it to Hifumi? Exactly. Hold on. Just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh? Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped? Could you maybe explain it a little more? She won't. Think carefully. Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? Ah, I like the grin on Kyoko's face. It means we can rely on her later. I have no idea. Judging by how Taka and Hifumi weren't getting too much along about the laptop thing, I'm guessing maybe some sort of argument broke up between them. The note, I think it's for Taka though. What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. The note Hifumi had, worded very precisely. Not Hifumi's note, the note Hifumi had. And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right? If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. Wow, this feels like a very gamey hint. I'm guessing the handbooks are related because you need to go past the locker into the pool, which Hiro was found in, so... But we don't have to think about switching. All I said was that they weren't used to carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role? I don't think I understand. The pool. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I better keep it in mind. Yep. Oh, you kidding me?
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! A class trial! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, without further ado... Everyone, please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. Does Kyoko even know anything? Does she even know that they weren't killed here? Oh my god. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right. Well, we better get going. Okay. Okay, well, let's do our little recap then, with all the evidence, and then I will have to go mull on it a little bit. Monokuma file. Victims, Hifumi and Taka. Cause of death, blow to the head. Yeah, both with a mallet. Blue tarp. Found in the repository under Kiyotaka's lifeless body. It was apparently used to move Kiyotaka in order to avoid leaving any blood stains. When we first found his body in the equipment room, there was no tarp, so I think we can say that he did die there. Unless if someone put his body there and then took a packet from the nurse's office and made fake blood. I don't think so though, because the packet wasn't mentioned as being important. Repository dolly. The dolly was found when the body was rediscovered in the repository. This specific dolly had no handles and no blood, and blood was found on one of its wheels. It's assumed that this is the same dolly that was in the equipment room where Taka's body was originally discovered. Okay. When they were first found in the nurse's office, Hifumi's glasses were covered in blood. However, when they were next seen in the repository, they were completely clean. Yeah, definitely. Did Hifumi clean it by himself? That's what I'm wondering about. But definitely, that cloth belonged to Hifumi. Hammers of all shapes and sizes were found in the repository. One of them was found wet and had apparently been recently washed. I don't know how this fits in. As far as I know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So, is this a 5 or... There must have been some sort of evidence on it though. Probably blood, but... The door connecting the art room to the repository was designed to open only from the repository side. According to Aoi, it was locked during the search for the missing body. However, when the body was rediscovered, it had somehow been unlocked. Celeste, man, I'm telling you. A puddle of blood was found in the equipment room where Kiyotaka's body was initially found. Yeah, that just means that his body was moved over to the other room. Cloth in the trash can of the nurse's office, branded with that pretty pudgy princess. Blood. One has to wonder if someone used it to wipe some blood away. Clearly it's for the glasses. Celeste's account. Hifumi's body disappeared when Celeste and Aoi left the nurse's office to use the bathroom. Weren't gone for a minute or two. See, she says that to put the suspicion off herself, but something is definitely going on here. I don't know how much I trust Celeste, and when I say I don't know, I mean I don't. Hiro's note with really good handwriting. The Robo-Justice blueprint with shit writing. You know, Hiro's writing is very calligraphy-ish, but it's not that bad. This is not that bad, but it's definitely different from the calligraphy. Robo-Justice costume. Nobody but Yasuhiro could have possibly fit into the costume. I'm thinking about that photo where the Robo had his arm around Hifumi. Could that possibly have just been an unconscious Hiro inside and then Hifumi trying to lift the robot up? We'll have to look at that photo again. In addition, anyone wearing it would not be able to see their feet or bend at the waist for more than 90 degrees. Yasuhiro's account. Hiro received a mysterious note last night that told him to go to the rec room at 1 a.m. Taka's watch stopped at 6 a.m. Kiyotaka's lifeless hand was clutching the corner of the note. Hifumi had this note hidden on him. One edge of it appears to be torn. The note reads, "Yeah, let's meet at 6 in the equipment room." He's hiding it. Is he hiding it so that we can find it? Or is he just hiding it generally? Starting to suspect Hifumi a little bit, because I do feel like he walked up to the 3rd floor on his own. Each student has their own e-handbook. Yep, so whoever put Hiro in the locker in the pool. Well, the pool itself, girls and boys can get in, so can't determine a gender from there. Oh, that's it. Huh. We can't see the photo again. Can we? Okay, well, I'm gonna go try to clear my mind, but preliminarily, Celeste for goddamn sure. If it's not Celeste, I'm gonna... I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's not gonna be pretty. Celeste and who? That's the biggest problem, I think. Celeste and Hifumi? I can kind of see Celeste going to Hifumi being like, hey, if you follow my plan, we can both get out of here. Although I feel like definitely the involvement of both Taka and Hifumi means that it's somehow related to alter ego, which we still don't know the whereabouts of, so not good. But like I said, let me think about it and I'll see you soon.